Now, I've been a fan of rap music for a long time. I've been a fan of basketball for a long time since I could remember. I've always appreciated the two. I always thought the two go hand in hand when it comes to the culture of hip hop and when it comes to the culture of sports and entertainment with basketball. I always thought they always both go together. And the retirement of Vince Carter's jersey will forever be ruined, in my opinion. The day will always be ruined because the day ended with a beef that happened between Demar DeRozan, a former Raptor, and hip hop industry artist Drake because of the confrontation that they had right after the game or during the game, could say the least. This video was taken right after the game. But the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because the Raptors had said earlier in September, I believe, September 27th, they said Raptors will retire Vince Carter's number 15 jersey in November. Now, going later on in the post, it says the Toronto Raptors will retire number 15's jersey of eight-time All-Star Vince Carter on November 2nd. The game that we're talking about right here when they played the Kings, which was DeMar DeRozan's basketball team currently, versus the Raptors, his old team, which is Vince Carter's team as well, or his recent team before he retired. Now, Drake was there at the game in support of Vince Carter. Now, if you could see here, this is Vince Carter's ceremony. I believe it might have been at the beginning of the game, of course. And you can see.
Let's give a shout out to this guy right here, Drake.
And you can see Drake here.
Thank you. June 20.
So you can see right here that Drake was in attendance, and that was part of the reason why Drake was there in the first place. So apparently, if you don't know, Drake is a really big fan of the Toronto Raptors. There's a moment in this interview or in this speech, my apologies, where Vince Carter is talking about how Drake had been a fan, how Drake had reached out to Vince Carter and told him that since I was a kid, I remember you threw something in the stands and I caught it. And, talking about a time where Drake looked at Vince Carter as one of the ones, a star, before Drake was considered a superstar, a rap superstar. So I believe Vince Carter was just shouting out Drake at the fact that this man became who he is, became as big as he is, and he still looks up to me to this day, or he's still a fan of me to this day. So that's why he had mentioned him in the speech. That's why he talked about Drake in the speech, thanking him for being there, thanking him for being a fan, and always being supportive of Vince Carter. It all sounds good, right? Until the very end. Until the very end, when Drake looks at DeMar DeRozan playing for the Sacramento Kings next to Chubbs and starts to stare him down. I don't know why he's staring this man down while he's doing his job, but this is what I don't like about the situation. This day, and this moment in time was supposed to appreciate the legacy and the retirement of the number 15, the jersey number 15 for the Toronto Raptors, which is Vince Carter. And all that just got like taken over. All that just got looked over because of this incident right here. It's crazy how this was Vince Carter's retirement of his jersey, but all we could talk about is Drake and DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan's not even a Raptor anymore, but we're talking about him more than we're talking about Vince Carter. Now, obviously, this moment was for Vince Carter, but now it's starting to feel like as if we can't even remember why Drake was there in the first place, even though Vince Carter was the one that was congratulating Drake in the ceremony. When he did his speech, he was congratulating Drake. And then afterwards, we just can't really remember anything after that, I guess, because it just took away from the moment. And I'm not sure if it was something that was intentional. I highly doubt it. It was just something that happened, right? But because of this happening, it took away from Vince Carter's moment. And everybody just started talking about this. And I just wanted to give a moment to just shout out Vince Carter because I just want everybody to know, and hip hop to know, hip hop media, basketball media, sports media, however you want to put it, that this moment was to respect Vince Carter's legacy. It wasn't about Drake It wasn't about DeMar DeRozan. It wasn't about their confrontation. It wasn't about what he and she said or what they said to each other. It's about Vince Carter. It's about Vince Carter and how he gave us 2 decades of his life, of his career, maybe more. I'm not too sure. You could tell me in the comments. But he gave us the best years of his life to entertain the sports fans. And I'll be damned if that gets taken away because we want to look at a moment where Drake decided to be petty against DeMar DeRozan. Mind you, DeMar DeRozan didn't really do anything in this situation. I'm not blaming DeMar DeRozan. He's just there doing his job. He's literally there doing his job. Drake's the one that pulled up at his job acting a certain way. DeMar DeRozan is just doing his job. He's playing on the court. This is what he gets paid to do. It's not like he came there to start trouble. If anything, he kept it classy and didn't say anything to Drake while Drake is trying to stare at him crazy. But I digress. This moment is for Vince Carter. It's not for Drake, and it's not for him wanting to show how he feels about DeMar DeRozan. It's about the legacy that this man left and the reason why his number retired. So let's just take a moment to appreciate that this is what it was for, not because of some petty beef that Drake was involved in, not over something that he was involved in with Kendrick Lamar. You let this beef with Kendrick Lamar trickle down to DeMar DeRozan, even though DeMar DeRozan is just being a basketball player, doing his job, not doing anything to start any beef with Drake. He didn't spark any feud. He didn't do anything that caused Drake to look at him a certain way. He's doing his job. He's playing on the court. And Drake is looking at him with Chubbs right next to him. So I always thought that this was funny, how this moment in time kind of feels bittersweet now because it was a good moment. And then right after it got ruined when this moment happened because Drake decided to get his pettiness, his selfishness, his beef, his own beef, wrapped up in the situation that doesn't involve Vince Carter. It may involve DeMar DeRozan, but it has nothing to do with Vince Carter. And I don't think it should have been the right thing to do to make a scene or to seemingly make a scene at a moment that belonged to one of the best basketball players that's came out. But y'all tell me how y'all feel, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace. And remember, congratulations to Vince Carter, because I just didn't want this to be overlooked by everything that happened with DeMar DeRozan and Drake and Kendrick Lamar and stuff like that. I always appreciated basketball. I love basketball so much, just as much as I love hip hop. So shout out to Vince Carter, bro. Congratulations on a successful career. The number 15 retired. And I appreciate you, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.